Good morning. Be with y'all in a minute. Got to get this coffee together. I'm running late. Good morning, Sour Patch, Miss Cruiser, Rod Black, Miss Gerald, Lady Steph. Let's have a sip real fast. Okay. Whew. Makes me want to dance, y'all. I'm telling you, this coffee. Well, I hope y'all had good night's rest. Mine was pretty fair. Pretty good this time, for real. Usually I'll wake up 2 or 3 times in the night. I hate that. Because I need to go pee. Okay? All right, let me get this music off. I don't want to play it too long this morning. Because y'all, I started not to come on this morning at all. But I usually feel like that a lot. And then, once you get your blood to boiling, then you go ahead and get up. But before I go on, let me say this real quick. Y'all pray for Lady Nika. She's finishing up her work. And I can't wait to see her, that beautiful smile again. However, I know she's going to still be a little sore, so it's still going to take a minute, like she said. So we sending prayers to her this morning for sure. Okay? Now, y'all see my title. I'm not going to take too long before I get to it, because I don't plan on being here that long. But I always say that, and I end up being here longer than what I planned on being. And that's why I'm not really waiting for a lot to come in the room. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and get busy, and whoever's not here can catch the replay, okay? Now, let me start off on my first story. Y'all see my title, and I'm going to get to YouTube stuff and get to that last. Everybody remember that video? What's the guy name? The first one played, don't read his story. Don't read his story. And a lot of people have been making parodies off of this. I mean, it has gone pretty far. All because he's selling cars. And I didn't see now. I thought he was going to talk about it on here. There you go. Let me turn this up so y'all can hear. Wait a minute. This is when he was first putting it together. Because we didn't see this part of it. We didn't see this part. Let me see.
All right,
we didn't see this part. I guess this is when he was first trying to.
So this is the trunk bed audio. All right, we going. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. Okay, y'all had to switch it up. All right.
Now this the original one we saw.
What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. Okay, let me tell y'all something. I'm doing something real big this month. Any deal that y'all got and they beating us, I'm gonna be about $400. Just give me your pen and the paper because I'm asked. What the what? What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. Okay, I told y'all before. Y'all know what I do. I give all these good deals and everything else. Y'all better ask about me because I do all that all the time. And that's all. Man had a little lamb. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Now we didn't see that when he first was in the room with a customer. So this is the one coming out the trunk of the white car is the one that we originally saw. So I found him this morning when I was looking around on the Google thing, and let me read his story to y'all. Okay, where the money reside, where the money reside. And it went viral, y'all. He making money off of that right there. So so it said his name is Darrell SMILEY from Baton Rouge, who was trademarked the phrase where the money reside. His video has been viewed and shared by millions on all social media platforms. His video, just one of his latest sale pitches as a car salesman. Now, they told the whole story where he's from and how the salesman makes promotional video that goes viral. Okay, so he's trending, y'all, all over the place. See, he had just recently lost a job somewhere, and this was his second job, and he's been on Twitter. Say what's his name? His name is Relly B, whose real name is Darrell SMILEY, took to Twitter to post his creative video about the special discount in order to hopefully bring in more buyers. He says the pandemic affected sales dramatically, which is what inspired him to do this video. But it isn't about how many cars he sells, it's about the way he sells them, of course. And I'm quite sure he's getting a lot sold. He begins the video by popping off the trunk. He described the deal saying, I'm doing something really big this month. Any deal that y'all got and that y'all beating us, I'm going to beat it. He goes on to say that he frequently creates special deals with like this with customers. Okay. He said that the entire video was made up on the spot. He had just did it on the spot. Nothing he wrote, practice, or anything like that. But anyway, his Twitter description says he works at Richards Honda on Millerville Road, and that's in Baton Rouge. And he says that by producing this video, he hopes to inspire others to work harder. He said, I used to clown with people on social media. I used to tell them I'm going to work. Y'all get up, let's go get this money. No matter what kind of job you have, don't let nobody say nothing about what kind of job you have because you have a job, he said, which is true. It doesn't matter what kind of job you got these days, especially with the Rona going on. If you got a job, you got a job. And he's making it fun for himself. But he had lost a job before, and then he started selling cars because of the Corona affecting him. So I thought that was interesting to see, and speak on him and all the viral. I mean, he's finna make it. And I'm quite sure people in Baton Rouge going to that place just make a car just to see SMILEY. He was on Ricky Smiley's. I didn't see that part on Instagram, but I just know just that little song he made up on the spot. He got it made. And I bet you're gonna start getting commercial deals. You're gonna be getting some commercial deals. Everybody loved that video. Everybody. It's everywhere. See, News 10 has learned that SMILEY has a collaboration that works with the Honda Motor Company. See, I just said that. I just read this part. Yeah, so he could be making money. He only just have to sell cars, but I'm quite sure that's what he like. And whatever car like he's working for, I know they just love him. He's bringing in big time business. Okay, so I just wanted y'all to see that because it's still interesting. I still was looking for him. It took me a while to find out his real name, so I just finally Googled car salesman money reside, and all that popped up like that. Then you got a lot of people making different parodies. Like this is a cute little parody right here. I mean, everybody and their mama making parodies. This little girl right here.
money reside, where the money
Oh, I'm
reside.
sorry, y'all.
Okay, let me
Sorry
tell
about
y'all
that.
something, doing something real big this month.
She's a little
Any
girl.
deal that y'all got and they beating us, I'm gonna be about $400. Just give me your pen and the paper, cause I'm past what the what? Where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside. Okay, I told y'all before, y'all know what I do. I give all these good things.
She's not the only one made a parody. There's a lot of parodies being made off of this song. A lot of parodies. We even had one of our own YouTubers try to make a parody off of it. Oh, look at this lady. Where the money is, Danielle. Here's a lady. Oh, I haven't seen this one yet. I got to look at it.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to our channel.
She's trying to make a parody. Let me see her. But hers 7 minutes. I don't want to watch it that long. But if y'all look them up, y'all can see all the different moments. But I'm going to show y'all this lady, though. She's funny.
Where the money reside. All right, so
A blooper. Blooper for real.
I'm sorry for moving it around, y'all. Let me get a better angle for y'all. I'm sorry.
What's up, you guys, and welcome
Wait a
back
minute.
to
Let me put this in here.
channel.
Let me get up there with where she was, y'all. Wait a minute.
Something like that. Last year,
I'm sorry for doing that. That's why I got to work on doing my screen share. See, I've been too lazy to do that. Y'all know how it is. I don't be having patience when I get up here. I be having stuff to do. I really do. I really do. Where the money resides, where the money resides, where the money resides. She did a good job, though. Oh, there we go.
And that's a very heavy little lamb, period. Where the money resides, where the money resides, where the money resides, where the money resides. All right. All right.
Okay, just giving y'all an example how everybody going around making all these parodies, y'all. But anyway, I'm glad that he's making it.
Don't worry, House of Private Practice is here to help you open up your private practice in 6 months. Not only will we teach you right now,
okay, that's enough for you, lady.
Where the money reside, where the money
But anyway, y'all, I just thought that was fun, something fun to talk about. Okay, now it's some more commercial. Thank God for what you got, what you're getting, and what you want, and asking you for God. I guess you comment on me saying you got a job, you got a job. Okay, I guess that's what you comment on, but that's true. I don't care what kind of job it is. Burger King, Taco Bell, dishwasher, whatever. A job is a job. Everybody got laid off these days. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm going to move on to that one. Because after I talk about this next story, I'm going to ask y'all how would y'all do if y'all have a significant other, and whether it's a male or a female, would y'all let them beat on your child? Now, getting to CEASAR, Black Ink Crew. I know y'all heard a little bit that's been going on with him. I know a lot of y'all familiar with Black Ink Crew. CEASAR from Black Ink Crew. New girlfriend who he's buying a house with. Well, evidently she's been shading his daughter on social media. She's been saying things, like she's fat. She had to go to the clinic to get checked for STD. She's chasing penis. Well, she said the word dick. And the daughter said that he had put her out the shower and whipped her because she wouldn't wash the dishes. She wasn't getting along in the house. But see, teenagers are like that. Because I remember when it was my week, because we went by weeks. It was 8 of us. I didn't want to wash mine either, but you didn't get beat up like that, if that's true. So allegedly, he has been abusing her. And the girl he's with now that he's buying a house with was a model that was hired for the show by production in 2014. And that was during a time when he was with Duchess. But him and this lady that they hired, the so-called model, well, they end up getting together. Now, I'm going to read a little bit of that story. Now, I don't know if all of y'all, some of y'all watch Black Ink Crew, but if y'all don't, y'all can Google it. And for those, like I said, I'm not waiting around, not many people here. You can always catch the replay, okay? Now, I'm going to read a little bit. I don't know if y'all heard of Black Ink Crew or not, but most of us have, because I used to watch it faithfully all the time. However, the last couple of seasons, I haven't really been into it like that, like the way I used to watch it. But anyway, so let me read the story. Black Ink Crew star Caesar Emmanuel accused of physical abuse by his daughter. The mother confirms that, okay? So after Caesar stepped forward to deny the allegation, the reality TV star's ex and mother of their 16-year-old daughter says it actually did happen. Now, what I'm confused at, so when he was with Duchess, he had already had a child, because they say that the child was seen once before on the series, on the TV, on one of the shows with Duchess. I don't remember seeing the child. I used to watch it all the time. It says that over the weekend, Black Ink Crew star CEASAR Manuel, 16-year-old daughter Cheyenne, made public some gruesome allegations of physical abuse by the tattoo artist. On January 2nd, the teenager made the accusations against her father in a heated Instagram live where she emotionally claimed CEASAR stomped her out. She then addressed the accusations on her story, adding, "The level of disrespect from my father pulling me out of the shower, then beating me while I was naked is a problem." Now, I wonder, did he actually pull his 16-year-old daughter out the shower? Or sometime when teenagers get mad at you, they say the most. Okay. Good morning, April. I can't see that he would be abusing like that. And if he did that, that's awful. She added that he kicked, punched, and stomped on her. And that's why I'm having a hard time believing it. Can you imagine a whole grown man like him kicking, punch, and stomped? I think that she's kind of like embellishing his story, adding to it. Can y'all see that? Well, anyway, she said he did that like a dog in the street, and said she's just here to speak her truth. She said he knows what he's done, and the police were called. They are all on records. Now, can y'all believe that he actually did all that? Okay, so then this is what he wrote. He said, "I'm going to address this for the last time. The level of disrespect." No, that's her saying it again. I meant to read what he said, because he's adamantly denying it. Okay. And she said, well, this is what she said: "I'm coming to address this for the last time. The level of disrespect from my father pulling me out of the shower, then beating me while I was naked is a problem, period. I have no reason to fabricate a story. It's a shame that because he's on TV, that people would think it is okay to kick me, punch me, and stomp me like I'm a dog in the street. It it is not okay. I'm here to speak my truth. He knows what he's done. The police was called." This is her on when she was on the Twitter center. "Well, police was called there, and our records. All of you trolls can say what you want. This is my reality of what transpired." See, evidently people are saying like me, they don't believe he kicked, punched, and stomped her like that. So she's saying all of us trolls can believe what we want. The girlfriend, she been stalking my dad for years when he was with Duchess. How can you respect anyone that puts his hand on his daughter the way he did? And how do you allow her to argue back and forth with the 16-year-old child? Now, it sounds like she don't like the girlfriend. She said that the lady was stalking him even while he was still with Duchess. And how could he allow that? Now, I'm assuming she liked Duchess because, like I said, she was on the show. I didn't see it, but I heard she was once on that show, and I watched it, but I don't remember the daughter being on there. I think she liked Duchess, and she don't like the girlfriend, because you hear she's saying, how could you allow your girlfriend to go back and forth with your own daughter? And kids can retaliate if they don't like your mate. Okay? So that's what I said. But CEASAR denies the allegation in the statement, saying, "My daughter Cheyenne and I are not on great terms. However, I would never physically abuse her. I have only done what many parents would have when their child has crossed the line, and that is discipline my child." His current girlfriend chimed in as well, adding, "She was supposed to wash dishes. You want $600 wigs, but you don't want to wash dishes." Now, I agree with everyone that when he was talking to his daughter and disciplining his daughter, I don't feel like the girlfriend should have jumped in there and talking about where you were supposed to wash the dishes and you want $600 wigs, because the $600 wigs her father's buying. So it ain't like she's buying it, because she's living off and enjoying his money as well. Okay? And you're right, Laurie, it is possible. But for him to kick and stomp and do it like the way she described, girl, I mean, come on. And he probably is to her. He probably is, since she's too old to get a whooping. He probably is kind of like grabbing her and slinging her, do this, do that. But I really think, though, the fact that he's letting his girlfriend discipline her too, She don't like that. And I agree. She's too old for the girlfriend to help raise a stepchild. Now, if she was around a little girl and was with one little girl, maybe 1, 2, or 3, or taller or something, and yeah, I can say all the way up to 5, and she became friends with the little girl first and moved into that authority role, to have that kind of respect, I get it. But you can't just start jumping in there and chastising a child as they get older. So I don't feel like she should have jumped in there and talking about she didn't wash the dishes and she wants $600 wage. You're not paying for it. So anyway, Cheyenne's mother, Crystal, now the real mother, finally stepped in to defend her daughter, confirming that the act of violence did take place. She said, no one would ever understand to be woken up at 2 a.m. in the morning for my daughter crying that her father beat her. She wrote that on the Instagram story. She said, this has psychologically damaged my child. Imagine someone ripping you out of the shower at 16 years old, punching and kicking you. That's the part of having a problem with, y'all. If I vision it in my mind, you pulling a 16-year-old young lady out of the shower while she's butt naked and start kicking her with your feet and punching her. And that's why I say it sounds a little bit exaggerated, but I do believe she was getting chastised, fussed at about not washing them dishes and not really wanting to do nothing like teenagers do, because we all been there, and just start beating her up. She said she had no choice but to alert the authorities because of the severity of the attack, saying they have always disciplined Cheyenne, but it never graduated to this point. So when I drop my link, I want some feedback on this. I know the daughter probably wasn't doing, because teenagers, they don't want to do no cleaning around the house when you tell them to clean up. No, they don't. I had a problem with my son not wanting to mow my grass. Well, his father disciplined him on that. And then one time he didn't want to mow my grass, he was already 19. And my husband said, well, that's my wife. And I am his mother, don't get me wrong. He said, but you gonna do what you're supposed to do in this house by her rules, because he felt like since he was grown and moved back with me for a minute at 19. Well, he just moved back from Louisiana to Nevada, that he felt like he didn't have to go out there and mow the lawn. And he wanted to say something back because he was grown. And my husband said, you got to go, buddy. You gonna, you ain't gonna be talking to your mother, my wife, like that. You gonna mow this grass to go. And that's how it is, because it's too old for a whooping. You can't make teenagers do anything. You really can't, but they do get, we all been there, 14, 15 to 16, when I was out turning to wash dishes, a vacuum, or whatever. We didn't want to do it. We want to talk back. But then again, like I say, I don't understand why, and I just read the story why the girlfriend jumped in talking about she didn't want to wash dishes. But I'm having a hard part with the part of actually kicking with your feet. Grown man kicking his daughter with his feet and punching. Do y'all think she exaggerated the story? You right, Miss Gerald. Teenagers can't be a mess. We all been there before. We all know we didn't want to clean up. We didn't want to clean our room. We didn't, but yeah, we wanted phone privileges because back then wasn't no cell phones, anything. But I remember wanting to stay on the phone all the time. I remember that very vividly. I remember I used to sneak out the house in the morning, go down to one of my older sister's house, because we had those, how people have beautiful hardwood floors back then, and you had to buff them and have them shining and all this. Well, when it was time, and we would, okay, so once a week you would go ahead and shine whatever you do, but once a month you had to really go ahead and buff and redo it. Have them floors looking nice, smooth and pretty. I would sneak out because I didn't want to do the buffing. I didn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because the carpet was like in the bedrooms, in the hallway. And I remember in the living room, they kept the floor beautiful. And then they went out of style. Everybody started wanting carpet in their living room, kitchen, all like that. Now the hardwood back in style again, because I got hardwood up there and a big area rug. And I started not to put that there. I like them hardwood floors, and I know the shine and everything. Even right now in my home, I have hardwood. I like for it to shine. So anyway, so I can get it. So I remember sneaking out, going down to my sister's in the morning because I didn't want to help with the floors. So we do it. We do it. And then I play like I was down there all alone. I go back when the work was done. You know how we used to try to get ready stuff. So anyway, let me read some more people. Thank you, Laurie. Yeah, teenagers can be a mess. They can be a mess, but I can't see her getting involved now. When she came on that show in 2014, hired by production to be a model, she probably was chasing it behind him, like his daughter said. until him and Duchess broke up. But I can't picture it in my mind. They show pictures and everything, y'all, but I can't. But anyway, yeah, we all had chores back there. I remember 8 years old, Laurie. I was crying because I was getting taught to fry French fries, and I didn't even want to try because back then they started teaching you how to get to the stove and cook something about 7 to 8, but the really simple stuff, even if it's just toast. But I remember I had to fry them French fries. I had to come. I was 9 years old. I didn't want to do that. But right now, I look back, I'm glad I did learn how to start cooking all that stuff early and I passed it on to my children. And that's what I mean when I'm talking about cooking. I don't know how to cook out the box. I didn't maybe go in there and just get busy. Okay, I'm not a box person. Okay, so my question is, say if with the ladies, if you have somebody just dating, and I don't care if you've been with them 2 or 3 years and y'all finally move together, but your child is already past 10, do y'all think that your mate should physically discipline? But if you get the and you tell them the right, then you get your mate to back it up. But I don't think this lady should have jumped in there at this girl is 16 years old, and clearly she don't respect her as authority figure to tell her what to do. She's there with her father, but at some point you got to respect the fact that he's with your father. And evidently they must be planning on getting married because they buying a house together. Who gonna just buy a house with a girlfriend, or vice versa? Yeah, there was, but when you look back on it, Laurie, I'm glad I learned how to go down there and wash some clothes. When I say go down there, our house was 3-story. Back then the houses, especially in the Bay Area, you automatically had an attic, the floor where you live at, then a basement. The washing machine, everything was down in the basement. The attic is where you store stuff. The kitchen was huge. Nowadays, the houses out here, they what they call it when they all Hysteria building, they cost a lot of money now. That's expensive, about 3-story these days. But back then, that's just how houses was built back there. So anyway, I'm glad when I had my first child, I knew how to boil bottles, sterilize my bottles. I'm glad that my older sister made me buy cloth diapers, Pampers. Pampers was out, but she still made me get cloth diapers. And I was glad when I had my second child, I knew how to do that because I remember it was storming, rain, and cold. And I ran out of them Pampers. I had them cloth diapers in my drawer with some rubbers. The rubber pants you put on the kids. I'm glad of that. That I learned how to do all of that because one of my child was allergic to the Pampers and stuff. So I'm glad I learned that. And ladies these days don't learn that. Everything is just disposable. You just get it and then just chunk it out, just throw it away. That's what they call. See, yeah, you're in the Bay Area, so you know what I mean when you say that. They calling them now Victorian homes. Exactly. Exactly. I would love to try to have me in a home like that. And they still around, but some of them been turned into office space buildings. Uh, how a lot of them been turned into like homes where people would stay when they get out of jail, halfway houses, all kind of stuff, fix it up like that. And if you can go in one of the older neighborhoods and buy one, refurbish a little bit, yeah. But like I said, it's like to them, it's like you're buying a mansion these days. But I liked the houses like that back then. Good morning, Vishay 7. Yeah, diapers and rubbers. Yeah, I was glad to learn how to do that like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it had to do, especially with the formula. My one son started on Similac, Enfamil, then Pedialyte. Finally, said, I ain't doing this no more. I got canned milk like I was taught how to do with pet milk from my older sisters back then. They didn't have that form. They used pet milk. You know what I'm saying? And then you mash your food up and you start out with a quarter teaspoon of cereal in their milk and everything was fine. I had to revert back to the old fashioned way after him not holding no formula. And I learned that with my first child. See, I was glad that I knew how to do all that like that. Okay. So and like one of my nieces, her child, she couldn't wear diapers. She had a diaper service because down the line they started having diaper service. I think it was every few days they pick up the soiled diapers and drop off new diapers. You want to wash them herself. And I don't know why, because it was her mother that taught me all what I'm saying. I did. Because like I told y'all, my older sisters played a big part of my life because my mother died young. It was sick when, during the time before she passed. So it was my older sisters that passed things on to me. That's why it was kind of hard when that older sister passed, well, back there in November. But God gave her long life. So I just thanked him for all those years that he gave me with her and that she was there to take on. some of that motherly role to teach me that stuff. I helped with my baby sister. By the time my baby brother came, Pampers were here. Yeah, and and people used them, and they were Pampers with the little white baby on it. The box was white with green. Now they got all kind of brands. Yeah, it was a new thing, and I was allowed to get a box. Other than that, I had diapers. So I ended up taking those pamper two with me if I was leaving out, but I had diapers, and I was glad that I was able to know how to do all that. Believe that. Thank you for the super sticker. If I hadn't said it yet, let me put it here. Let you know I'm acknowledging it. So now, before I start dropping my link, so yesterday when I did my live, I'm assuming, well, not assuming, I know for a fact that Deidre saw my live. And I forgot whatever I was talking about, but my title was Sean Bradley sent her after me. So she wrote on my comment section, I wasn't kicked out of anywhere because I did use the word. When somebody get kicked out, they tend to run to the ops. And then even though everybody cordial and letting them stay there, do they really think that people is trusting him now? So maybe she was the one, maybe I said it wrong. She didn't get kicked out like the other ones, I'm assuming. She left or whatever it came, but then it's not a big deal. So she said, I didn't get kicked out, just wanted to clear that up. Moving on. And she had exclamation marks at the up. I said what I said, exclamation point. I didn't want to come for you because you were not in my lane. Well, I wrote her back. I mean, and all I said was exactly we're not in each other's lane. Enjoy your day. Because I don't have nothing for her over there. I don't know her like that. Just start seeing her name or hearing her name all this month. And then we start seeing all the ranting and raving last week when all that was going on. So it's neither here nor there. I don't know her to like her, don't know her to dislike her. It is what it is. Even if she was drop down and speak, I'm going to speak like I speak to everybody else. That's not my fight. I'm simply doing commentary on it. Simple as that, y'all. And let me show y'all the reply because I always like to show something when I'm talking about it. Yes, sir. And that's me replying. So I'm supposed to write thank you for the click and abuse. That means she was in my bushes. And maybe she took it that way. And then at first I took it as if is she throwing shade? If she gets smart and I have to reread it again. I said, no, maybe she's just trying to correct something. And it is what it is. So it's not a big deal. But sometimes I like to mention little stuff here or there. Now, I already said Paper Lady Nika's finishing up her work. So when we do see her again on camera, she's going to be beautiful. Girl, I've been on here 30 minutes already. Don't seem like it. But I do want to know. Oh, one more thing. It was something else to talk about. Maturist. Now, when she first got on that Zoom meeting and she was telling the truth about those matted wigs, and of course we all believed it. We heard the audio. We saw it. Okay. Then when she came back backstroking, I'm still believing the first review she did. Because that second review did not look like the original wig, even though that wig wasn't all that great either. But if she wanted to do a review, she should have put the wig on. She should have modeled it. So it wasn't believable. And that's why she donated so much time to talking about that one wig. That whole lie was about that one lie that she did was about that one wig. Okay. So no, ain't no sense in bagging out of it. Then somebody said, well, it's because it was a paid review. But I believe the first lie. I believe there's no way you can take it back. Okay, I believe it. And everybody believed the first thing. Everybody believed it. Ain't nobody listen to what you was talking about. Nobody. So I believe the first lie. And I'm gonna start dropping my link in a minute. I want, but I really wanted to come on here and talk about something other than them people this morning, because I know we get tired of hearing about them over and over and over again. But sometimes it's hard. You have to kind of throw that in a little bit, especially nothing going on, but it's too much going on in the world for me to just harp on them like that. I don't care nothing about them like that. Then, because I know about all the fights that's going on. I know over there, Sean Bradley and all them getting into it with Seven. They're getting into it, but y'all, sometimes, if all you're listening to is that, you got to guard your spirit, y'all. You got to, so we already know what it is. That's right, Sammy. Back powder and pussy popping, exactly what they doing. Thank you for the 61 likes, y'all. We know that's exactly what they doing. And so it gets to the point where you're just tired of just hearing that all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I'll come over here and do my own thing and try. But sometimes, like I said, I can't help but to mention it because I had to mention about Maturish. And Anna came on here yesterday evening, cursed somebody out again. Oh, I love it when she do that. When she come off that porch like that, I just love it when Deanna do that. I do. I really do. Cause baby, but when you were talking about a good whipping, besides Lady Mika, and then Billy Boy, I like the way he do his clean down. But Deanna, oh my God, oh my God. Mm-mm-mm. And they saying that Drop Mop over there, he's pressed about the videos being released on Zoom, but he did it. He had somebody to do it. Cause yesterday when Boo was here and I was saying it's leaked, Boo was saying no, she don't believe it's leaked either. Huh? I see whenever he do something behind on Patreon, the pink door stuff behind the scenes, y'all, it always somehow accidentally get leaked. Okay. How could it? I mean, come on now, ain't nothing getting leaked that often. Every time you do something, okay. So then y'all know I'm gonna look over there at Lipstick Alley. So you know they doing the most well besides dragging me and everybody else. I love the drag. Good morning, LZ. If I didn't speak to you, so blessed. Yeah, we all know she was lying over there through a teeth wearing a mahogany wig from the yeah. And it was. And I'm glad you said that. It was. But anyway, people saying they don't care about 5A's wig. Somebody said if you want to buy them or walk around with a dead cat on your head, that's your business. They said they just enjoying the drama, you know, like that. So I get that too. So you walk around like a dead cat. What is this? So anyway, I like to go over there sometime because it be deleted videos that people took down and they grab it first. My sister got kicked out, got knocked out by my mom at 18 for something she should have never. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Teenagers, sometimes they would try you. And you got to keep that fear in them. They see a little fear in there, they're going to try to try you. My friend one time waited till her daughter got in the bathtub and went over, and she had to be about 17 with that smart mouth and went in there. And her daughter didn't think she was going to say nothing, thought she got away with it. She went in there and started smacking on her and all while she's in there sitting in the tub. She had to be slick because the girl was tall. My friend was about 5'4", but her daughter was tall like her daddy people, probably about 5'8" or whatever, you know, and they'll try you. So she had to keep that fear going. They will try you if you let them get away with it. Okay. So anyway, I don't remember, was Fire in that Zoom call? Mm. But anyway, somebody said it's inconceivable to me that anyone will put a matted shedding wig in a box and ship it to receive. Y'all know what I think really happened. She probably wore the wig one time or modeled it herself and packaged it back up, thinking that somebody that wear wigs all the time will be able to tell the difference between being new, real, fake, or plastic. Because like I say, that first review is what I believe. So Laurie, because okay, when she's at that Zoom meeting and Tracy played the whole Zoom meeting. This was even before I saw Brianna play the audio on 7 Story, the whole meeting. You know, I don't remember Five saying anything of being there. Maybe it's one of the times how you be getting up, going to refresh your cup, getting your popcorn, or whatever you're doing to come back and finish watching it. I don't remember her saying anything on there. I know that D. Ramsey was very verbal, of course. And I said D. Ramsey on purpose. I remember that, but I don't remember. And how was she responding? You know, and so then to come back and pay her to do a second review? I'm talking about the second one. Okay, because I'm gonna say I don't remember her responding. Okay, so the second review. But I don't know, y'all. It's just a hot mess over there. And I'm glad it's them, not us. Okay. And then she's a prophetess. Like somebody say, I thought Fight was able to see stuff before it happens. Okay. Yeah, she's supposed to be a prophetess. Didn't they tell her that somebody gonna talk about the wig? Huh? So anyway, y'all, there's a lot going on too. And I'm gonna start dropping my link as I talk. if anybody want to comment, how would you feel if your other half, and like I said, evidently this daughter didn't like the girlfriend he moved with. I think she really still like Duchess and still really like Duchess, but Duchess had moved on too. I remember that whole breakup. And it wasn't all because she had slept with Donna during that time. Duchess and said Donna raped her. You know, it was all drunk. They was out. They took a trip somewhere. And I remember they was on bad terms even during that time, but I don't think that's why they broke up. I really don't think that. But y'all, and so the other thing, we all know how they all turn on Ball Mob. I don't know if Ball Mob get it yet that they don't like her. If she didn't, she should by now. Everybody going their separate ways, except for Queen Bussy. Where is he at? Is he somewhere hiding? He the only one ain't spoke up yet. Okay? And somebody's saying they remember how they did Tracy. But the only difference was when they did Tracy like that, people liked her. And they were standing up for it during the time when he's trying to kick her to the curb. And that's when everybody decided to stay over there with her instead of following him. And plus, she wasn't going to bag up anyway. Tracy don't care if all her subs get down to 20 or 30 people. She going to stay there fighting until she pull it back up. And I mean, I saw her doing that. I saw her fighting so many people at one time. Then y'all know how the fly trying to get in it. Anything that's going on, don't nobody even go over there and pay her no mind. You know, I just started her cup from the other day. But Miss Matura, everybody held her at a higher standard. She's supposed to be so intelligent, so articulate, and just, I don't know, like she's so above all the mess. But see, y'all, when you run one of those, cross one of those type of people, they more messier. The only difference between us, because I consider myself a little mess like everybody else, especially the older ladies, we get a little messy. You know, we know how to do it. We have years of practice, but we don't call, okay, to me, my message is because I do commentary on this stuff. So a lot of people say, well, I'm sneaky, I'm messy. Uh, I need to sit my old self down, being messy. Not, you know, the word, you know what they say. But to me, I'm always do my commentary. Says it's messy, it's messy. So be it. To me, it's just coming over here having a few kikis and doing something else different. After you done took care of your business, you know, in your life, you know, you got free time, you'll come on here and do the most. And that's what I do. I come over here and do my commentary, and nobody is exempt. Even people I like and watch, y'all hear me mention their name, it don't be no shade, and they don't take it like that. We just be talking about what happened. That's right, Sammy. There's a years of practice. Because I know my aunties and them used to can read the black off your back if they chose to do that. Then sometimes that's just the way they talk. They wasn't reading. You know, it's just like I don't think I be reading, but people be saying I be reading. Yeah, I'm just talking. I'm just being myself. You know, and that it is what it is. But y'all been talking for what 42 minutes. I'm gonna start dropping my link. If anybody want to come up and give your opinion, would you let? And so even if they was together like that, I don't think the girl ever developed any respect for this lady. Evidently, the stepmom wasn't a good stepmom to her, because to me, we reading the stories also sound like she don't like the fact that this lady jumping in the business. Because when I read to you how CEASAR was explaining what went down, then they say the girlfriend jumped in and chimed in and said, well, she wouldn't wash dishes. She wants $600 wig. So if her dad want to buy her $600 wigs, he got the money to do it, let her do it. So when I read that, I said, okay, she sounds like one of the ones, just because that's her man, overstepping your bounds, and she don't really get that a father and daughter relationship, stay out of it. Is she too old to be raised? Become her friend first. Then maybe she'll have that kind of respect for you. Okay? Now, I don't know what this person talking about. I know everybody hates CC, but the beef with 7th grade is so one-sided to me. Oh, I see who they call the 7th grade. Girl, take me a minute to catch on. I ain't finna go there. So anyway, y'all, I'm dropping the link. Those are my stories for today. I'm almost here an hour. Y'all know I like to drop my link after I talk for a little bit. Good morning. I'm Filtered Muffy. I just saw you speak. Where you go? You get away from me. Good morning, Brunswick. Good morning. Thank you, Sammy Dizzle. I'm gonna start trying to speak to the people too that just coming in. Tracy can handle it. She beat a whole arm. Exactly, Paulette. Exactly. And Paulette, you be with all of the juice here, because sometimes when I'm rolling and I'm driving, I try to catch it. I say, okay, Paulette gonna have the juice, the tea, whatever y'all want to call it. I be trying. So other than that, again, and I already talked about that yesterday, you got Larry Nelson still over there trolling daughter, like you've been doing for the last 6 months. Daughter is Jay Wilson, with that foolish wig he be wearing. So I don't think he never gonna get over on that because every time he come on here, that's all what he talk about. That's the only thing he talk about, that and Bonnie, but he stayed off Bonnie. He been staying off of her, so that's cool. So at least he moving on from that. You know what? Somebody also said, y'all, that, and I don't know if it's true, Maturish, did she admit that it was a different wig in that new Zoom meeting? Now, Laurie, somebody kind of just spoke on a different meeting. Did she admit that it was a different wig? Because if that's the case, if that's the case, then that probably was her wig, and the first thing that she gave, the first review she gave is the real one. And if that's the case, I wonder how much she got paid. How much did Sean Gacy over there pay her to come back and do a pay review? Because ain't nobody gonna believe you at this point. Because even if it's true, even if it's the second win, ain't nobody gonna believe you because it proves that you're a big liar. So all of that sitting up on a pedestal that people put you on, like you don't go there and do such things, it don't work no more. They see you as a big liar. So either way it goes, they're not gonna believe you. Okay. So anyway, y'all, I'm reading over here. Still prove everything. That's probably part of the reason she won't leave Bucket alone. She'll then prove everyone right. Someone in Five's chat told her that this stuff going on reminded them of when Tracy was in denial about Sean. Well, yeah, she didn't want to believe during that time that Sean was stabbing her in the back. She did think they had a relationship, but see, Tracy just she invites everybody, even when people get kicked to the curb from wherever they was. She open warm, open arms, and then they do it wrong. Okay, and that's the way it is. So I don't know. They just do it wrong. Anybody. She just I don't know. That's just her personality, and that's her heart and everything. But like I say, you know what they're gonna do to you when they leave. They're gonna discuss everything y'all talked about in private. And then they expect for people to really forget with that, I'm sorry. No, you gotta give people a while to get over that, especially when you did the most. Me too, Paulette Waters. Me too. Yeah. He probably did. Well, I hope he did. Because sometimes you think he did and he'll come right back. But right now he on Jay Wilson again. So anyway, so with those Zoom meetings and everything I just said, y'all here going on here, basically what it is now, unless y'all got something different to talk about, because I do want to hear what y'all let somebody come in and discipline y'all child like that. I mean, I wouldn't. Do y'all think she should have jumped in it when they was asking him questions about dishes and she wanted $600 wig as if she paying for it? But I don't know. Wow, somebody saying something about this person. Let me see some of y'all. I thought this person was gone. This person is. What's wrong with Apocalypse? We don't even talk about him. Is he still stuck back there a year or 2 years ago or something?
Could never be, and she never will be. Yes.
I don't even want to hear that. See, y'all see what I'm saying? How when it's deleted stuff or you don't hear how to be having that over there, they don't like the fact that we be reading over there. I mean, but they're speaking of us. Yes, I've been peeking over there. Some of these children don't know what hard. No, they don't. And you got to teach them hard work. I'm glad I started mine working in them little Taco Bells and Burger Kings and Kentucky Fried Chicken and stuff at 15 and 16. And they've been working ever since. I'm glad, some people wait till they 30 some years old and in their 30s be crying about I ain't got this, ain't got that. I wish this had to be done. I wish my mom had raised me like this. And, I'm young and I'm just starting off and all this. So, no, I feel like a grown man, 30, 35, and 40 should have something. I mean, something. You should, come on now. You too old to be just still there at mom's house or somebody else's house just renting a room. Come on, you got to earn something. To the point where you don't own nothing, not even your own bed. No, yeah. So anyway, so I wish I knew about that second Zoom meeting that somebody just mentioned. I ain't hear about that. If anybody know about that second Zoom meeting, I sure would like to hear about it. Thank you, Paulette. I got 69 likes in here, y'all. Can I make it to the whole 100? 69. It's gonna be like pulling teeth out, but I might get there. Wow, I have to have a practical medicine. So yeah, right. I don't, as a step parent, let me start. Yeah, because y'all sound out. As a step parent, I let the father handle the discipline. He would have asked for my advice on how to handle it. And if you're speaking of yourself, but you was with him for a while, he probably made friends with that child first, and then start slowly but surely being that authority figure to that child, respect that person and listen to him and accept authority. You know, this woman sound like she just jumped on in there. That's what it sounded like to me. I feel the daughter and Gigi hold resentment with one another, and the girlfriend is doing too much. Right now, the girlfriend is in Caesar's ear, and she's trying to impress her. Yet going about how to discipline her. Well, of course, she's in his ear, but took like Caesar to see that the girl don't respect her like that. And say, like, for example, she tried to tell a girl something, she ain't gonna do it. Then the lady will run to Caesar, then Caesar reinforcement, force it if it's the right thing to do. But at the same time, she's gonna feel like, well, he keep believing her over me because she pretty much said that. You know, she pretty much said that. So she's resenting her, so that she don't like her. She don't like her. But I bet you if that was Duchess, it wouldn't be all that going on. She liked the Duchess. Bree played the second Zoom meeting on her. See, I didn't get a chance to see that. I didn't see that one. So Tracy played the whole Zoom meeting 2 nights ago. And Brianna played the audio a couple nights ago too on 7th, but she says she got it off Lipstick Alley. That's the best I can tell you right now. Oh, 75 likes. Yeah, I'm getting there. Hey, Miss Cruiser. I'm getting there. Good morning, Miss Cruiser.
Good morning, Bless. Good morning, chat. Everyone in the chat. So I want to talk about that thing. I don't know a lot of celebrities, so I have no idea who the people are, but I can kind of speak on the situation. I just don't believe. I think that if you don't make it with the parent of who you had your children with, that I just don't believe no other parent should be around. Not in the days and times that we're living in. It's too dangerous to expose your kids to too many people, but you know, people do. And concerning the spanking thing, now this coming from a person who's never hit their kids. I didn't believe in spanking or hitting or whooping or any of that. I didn't hit my kids. My mama didn't hit me. And people say, oh, if you don't hit them, they're gonna be bad. My kids, you know, they ain't perfect, but they 2 of them in college. My oldest son, he's disabled, so you know he did well in high school. You know, I'm turned out okay. My little sister's doing even better than I am, and my mom never struck us. But anyway, so you know, it's a fine line. You know, in the Black community, I hear people brag about, oh, you know, my mama threw a shoe and bust me in my head, or you know, I get the teeth slapped out my mouth. We act like that is a thing to celebrate that, you know, the violence that was done, or we see it as discipline. And I know people disagree with me. I know that people disagree with me, but if, you know, it's so much going on in that house from what you described, this girlfriend, that girlfriend, the mom over here, the daddy over here, that I can't tell what happened. Oh,
but let me jump in. I'm trying to ask, do y'all hear her clear? Because whenever somebody on the outside, it starts like it's gonna freeze up. So if I go off, just stay on, or I might put myself down because outside April in the car and it's kind of freezing. So I know y'all can sit clear on your side. I can't. So let outside April go ahead and speak, because I know she's in the car, Miss Cruiser.
Okay.
Because she's on the outside because she's freezing up outside. I don't know if you know you froze. Does she look froze to y'all?
No, she's moving.
So but on my side, it'd be messed up like that.
Oh,
So,
okay,
but
yeah.
I think I'll probably be able to hear. That's how it happens when I'm on outside. So if I go down, y'all keep talking. What's up, outside?
Hey, can y'all hear me, Miss Cruiser? Good morning,
Yeah, you kind
Auntie.
of freezing on me, but they say they can hear you. But I knew that was going to happen because you're on the outside. For some reason, my stuff started doing that when I'm on the outside.
Yeah,
Am I
your
clear,
sound is
Miss
good.
Cruiser?
Your sound is good on site. It's good.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, Miss Cruiser. I was listening to you.
Yeah, but I think that when you have too many components to come in, you kind of setting yourself up for some issues. He had the girlfriend, the mama, it seemed like all the adults in her life was more concerned with everything going on in their life than stopping what was going on with them and making sure that they raised this child. So now they got problems with this kid, and they want the kid to take more responsibility to do the right thing than they're taking responsibility to do the right thing. Now they want to put hands on the kid. It's like, so how do we know whether the parent is lying or the kid is lying? But we got to protect the kids, right? So the investigators, they got to go with what the kids say and see if it was right or wrong and look at what was evidence.
Well, I feel kind of opposite, Miss Cruiser,
Mm-hmm.
because I was raised by a bunch of country women, and flip flops was the weapon of choice. Flip flops, broomsticks. You feel me? And I mean, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? If Medea said do this and you did the opposite and she popped you across the head, or she threw a flip flop at you or hit you with a broomstick, that's what they did. And I know some people feel like you and they call that violence. And some people never had to spank their kids. But I'm finna tell you, I had a house full of boys. You got me fucked up. I was caving niggas' chest in. I mean, they used to call my house the Terror Dome. Because them boys mixed with me and they daddy was a mess. And they was rough and they not disrespectful. They never were. I must say that. Disobedient? Yeah. Took the truck. I went in the hospital, had surgery on my back. These niggas took my truck and went joyriding. Done ran into a gate. You know what I'm saying? Snuck little girls in my house. I ended up whipping them and the little girl and took the little girl to her mama's house and told her I just beat your daughter ass. She was up in my house. Now we need to resolve this. If you want me and you to go at it because I put my hands on her, let me know. But she was up in my house with my son, and I beat her and his ass. And as far as a step parents have it really, really hard. Not back in the day, because my daddy didn't believe in the word step. He meant that if you taking a step, you're taking a footstep or you're stepping up some steps. But as far as stepmom and stepdaddy, he did not allow that, period. She was either Mama Mary or Daddy Sugar Man. No step. No step brother, no step sister. Because I had 2 brothers from my mom and 12 from my dad. And I'm the only child between them and the baby and the girl. And he didn't allow that. And now he beat my brother's ass. They skipped school and would fuck up. My mama, Auntie, I'm gonna have to shoot you something, Auntie. You know my mouth. He whooped they behind. And I remember my brother put some books in his pants. That was the funniest thing I ever seen as a little girl. And he actually thought them books was gonna sound like his butt. My daddy pulled that belt back and hit his butt, and them books sounded off. He got a double whooping. But it was, if you got whelps on you, you was moving. Don't move. Don't move. When they say lay down, lay down. And they hit nothing but your butt. They wasn't hitting y'all across your back. Now, yeah, some people may feel like the broomstick and the flip flop was no, because my granddaddy knocked out my 2 front teeth sitting at the table. Now, his dislike for me was I was spoiled. He gave me my nickname. I was his baby. But, I'm a daddy's girl. And he got mad with my daddy. So from then on, he was mad with my daddy. He took it out on me. And I was sitting at the kitchen table waiting on my goddamn hot grits and fried chicken necks, smothered chicken necks with my grandma and homemade biscuits. And this man was talking or saying something. He was drunk. And he swore to God, I kissed my teeth, which is suck your teeth. I didn't kiss my teeth. Man, that man backhand me so hard. Now, we had to stop my daddy because my dad was going to hurt my granddaddy when he saw my mouth. But that was still my granddaddy. And I know, to me, you're saying violence, and I've heard other men of those religions that don't beat their kids or whatever, and I understand that. And they would say, oh, that was violence. To me, that one, violence. At the time, I was mad, you know what I'm saying? But I knew from then on to make sure my mouth was like this.
That was violence against you. And what I want to say to you is, look how you accepted that. It was your granddaddy, so it was okay. It was not okay. You hit what you hate. And you said yourself
No,
that
he didn't hate me.
I don't think he
He
hated
me. He was
you,
upset with
but
my daddy
he
because
was
my daddy
upset with
came and
his
he
daddy. He hit you.
He felt like my daddy took my mama, his daughter, and me from him. And then he didn't like the fact of who my daddy was and my daddy's legend of what he was. Because my grand, they worked in factories. They believed in hard work. And here come this slickster, a kingpin that takes his granddaughter and his daughter, which I was his baby, And it wasn't that I guess I did accept it because it was my granddad. And I've seen them beat everybody else's ass. And I know he thought that I sucked my teeth, kissed my teeth, but I didn't, and my daddy didn't accept that. But I said to say this right before my granddaddy died. That's when he told me. He was like, you was my, he called me my nickname. And he was like, you was my favorite, always my favorite. He said, but your daddy made you spoiled rotten. And I was spoiled rotten, but I love my granddaddy. And I understand you all seen it as violence. Now, I got a couple whoopings getting fresh out the bathtub. Now, not no kicked and stomp, but they love to catch you wet out the bathtub. And they'll put some baby oil on the floor for some other people. But, but yeah. And, we didn't get whelps. So you think when they used to tell us to go to go out in the field and get our own switch, you think that was abuse?
Well, and I'm not, it's not that I'm not familiar with this. My grandma had 12 children. So everybody wasn't like my mama. The other 11 children whooped theirs. In fact, I had an aunt that lived in Miami. And she had my aunt, I had about 6, 7 kids, I can't remember. And when we used to go there, I would see her beat them kids with anything she get her hands on. And I remember one time my mama said something. My mama was much younger than her. My aunt passed away. But my mom said something to her. My aunt said, if you don't start whooping your kids, you have problems with it. And my mama said back to her, if you keep beating them kids like you beating them, you're going to have problems with them. Well, my mama had 4, and all of us somehow turned out all right. I mean, probably more than
I know families.
Let me tell you my aunt kids. My aunt kids. She had 2 twins. Both of them died of AIDS. Actually, she had 3 kids died of AIDS. 2 of them ended up in prison. It was some marching they were doing. They were tearing up the mall down in Miami and everything. This was years back in the 80s. 2 of them ended up, one of them ended up, I think, doing harm to a cop. Them kids were rough. I'm talking about, I hate Miami to this day because my cousins were rough. I'm talking about them. And what I feel like happened to them was that them whoopings made them just tough themselves. Now, after 8 years of being beat, now you ain't scared of nobody because you can take a lick, so I'm gonna get out here and do whatever I can. I just don't think that the outcome if we study the outcome of kids who were beaten, and I'm not talking about smacked on the hand or spanked, or even with a flip-flop. A flip-flop is not going to leave you with much damage, but if we take, do that with other kids and study their lives and what they went through, I wonder if we will find in the Black community that the majority of the kids who were beaten more severely were the ones that ended up doing maybe violent crimes or doing things like that. And I could be wrong, but I just can't imagine. I just can't imagine hitting what I love so dearly. I love my kids more than I love the breath in my body. And I just can't imagine putting my hands on them. And my kids wasn't perfect. I mean, it wasn't perfect. They ain't perfect now. I just
do you love God?
Smoke weed in my house. She's a college student. They smoke weed. But I just can't imagine having to put now I did have to, let me say this, I did have to grabbed my son one time because that joker, he's taller than me, he's bigger than me, and I was fussing at his sister, and when I kind of touched her arm to turn her around, he grabbed me, and when he grabbed me, I grabbed him.
Baby.
And I was
You
like,
wouldn't
because
grab me no
I
more.
ain't scared of nothing. I ain't scared of nothing that by birth. Nothing I birth. And when he grabbed me, I grabbed him, and he backed
So do
down.
you believe? So do you believe in God?
Absolutely. I
Do you
am
believe?
a devout.
Do you?
I am a devout
Do,
Pentecostal apostolic Christian.
do
Yeah.
you believe that God disciplines in love?
He absolutely do. He actually he doesn't. We kind of get back what we put out. You know, you reap what you sow type thing. But yeah.
But that's still disciplining in love because he loves us. And
Right.
he wants
And
us
I'm
to
not
get on the
saying
right
not
track.
to.
And he wants us to get on the right track. He wants us to stay on the right track. And when we wobble off the path, we get disciplined. But should we hate God, or should we feel like God did this to destroy us and he hates us?
I don't have a problem with discipline. I have a problem with the type of discipline. My kids were definitely disciplined. They were just because you don't beat a kid don't mean that you're not disciplined. And we were disciplined. You know, my mama didn't whoop us, but she disciplined us. I can still hear, let me say this. One time my daughter, we was on our way to church and she did something. I can't remember what she did, but I said, you're going to be punished when we get back. We'll deal with this when we get back. And she, in church, she wrote me a letter that says, Mom, could you just go ahead and whoop me so I can get this over with? And she wanted to get that whooping, get it over with. She didn't want the lecture. Right. She didn't want the consequences. She didn't want to think about it like I usually have to do and come back and tell me. She didn't want none of that.
Mom, so the punishment, whoop me and let me get it over with so I can go ahead outside and play.
So I can go back to my life. Exactly. But
I just gave you a prime example. And in the Bible, doesn't it say, spare the rod, spoil the child?
Yeah, but
now I am not condoning abusing no children. Hold on, let me finish. Okay. I am not condoning abuse of no children. But what you may think of as abuse, it's not abuse. What somebody else may think is, somebody may think that you yelling at your kids but not spanking your kids is mental and physical abuse. They may feel that way, that you're belittling them and you're tearing them down. And let me tell you something, mental and physical abuse is a lot worse than physical. I'd rather to fight than for you to play with my mind and my heart.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, if we have different views, it's okay. But
this is actually a very, very good discussion.
I respected my grandmas and my granny. I was mad as hell with their ass. Hell, I got tobacco spit in my eye because I was sitting on the porch first, and her and Miss Hattie came, sat they fat ass on the porch behind me, and then tell me to move because I'm listening to their conversation. I was there first. And when I turned around, my dear spit back in my eye. Get your ass in the house. Okay. I watched the back of eye. I talked a little trash, but I love my dear. I love my nana. And I didn't see it as abuse. And you say because we are trained that way, because they go back to that slavery day. But I say it from a biblical point. God disciplines in love. And let me tell you something, all his disciplines are not the same.
No,
if you out there sleeping around, like you said, your sister children died with AIDS. Okay. That was allowed by God because he could have prevented it. But apparently they didn't want to listen to him. They didn't want to go by his rules. Now, they got the AIDS. God still love them. God still showed them that they are somebody to him. That they still, this is the world we live in. And that's why I told you, don't go out there and sleep unprotected. Don't go out there and have unmarital sex. Then you got a young man that was disrespecting his mama, and his mama never put her hands on him, never spanked him or nothing. Went out there and were breaking in people's houses and got shot to death.
Well,
mama raised him right.
I have a different perspective. I have a different perspective for a couple of reasons. One, I don't have children. Two, I was raised though. We were raised in a house in the projects. We didn't get spanked. Okay. And I look at the way that we, turned out in the different accomplishments that we have had. And then I look at some of my friends who were, you know, spanked, and I don't know anybody who was beaten. So I'm talking about spankings right now. You know what I mean? And I remember as a kid making up, like pretending that I used to get spankings because I felt out of place. And I remember at the lunch table.
Me too, Lady T. Me too. I used to pretend like I got
somebody got something in the background.
Same thing.
Somebody got something in the background.
I don't have nothing open.
Something in the background.
It might be.
Y'all hear? Let me mute. Go ahead, baby. I'm listening, boo.
Okay, so I used to pretend like I used to get spankings or whatever because I would hear all the kids at the lunch table talking about how they did this and they got spanked. I felt uncomfortable. I felt like every time it came up, I felt weird. I cannot even explain it. And I don't know if anybody has experienced it, but it's like I know a lot of people that get spanked, and the people are still spanking their children. But when I'm looking at the way that's out there, the way society is, back then and now, how did it help really?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me answer that. I got 8 boys. Let me answer that. I got 8 boys, and I beat their ass because all my children are taller than me. All them niggas taller than me and bigger than me. Now let me tell you something. Because all my children are taller than me. All them niggas taller than me and y'all hear that? Oh, Auntie Bless, I think that's you, Auntie Bless. Are taller than me. All them niggas taller than me. Y'all hear that? Oh, Auntie Bless, I think that's you, Auntie Bless.
Let me see. Okay.
Okay.
It probably was me. Let me turn this down. Okay.
Got you. Okay. And so, I spank my boys or whatever. One of my babies passed away. You all know that from SIDS. So I had 7 left. Out of that 7 that I disciplined, only 1 decided to follow the path of the family and of me. I tried to stop it and prevent it. The other 6, there are 4 of them that people would say are white boys or whatever, just because they speak proper English and they're very educated and but anyway,
what determines proper? We all talk proper in our own way.
I know, but that's what they would say.
That's what the white people say. But let me chime in on these butt whippings for a minute.
Okay.
If I go down again, it's because whenever somebody on the outside, like you
good now.
But I know I'm going in and out right now.
No, you good. You good.
Okay, so I'm just saying, whenever somebody butt whoopings, I had them coming up. I gave my kids butt whoopings coming up. We went and cut our own switch. We might have got whooping. Some people with stitch a car, whatever. It wasn't abuse then. We know how to whoop and how far to go. And the reason why these days they think it is abuse, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. White people discipline their children different. Go to the corner, time out, this and that. That didn't work. Okay. And so I hear Miss Cruiser saying they didn't get whoopings, but we did. So there was a different generation, and they didn't beat the hell out of us. Till we bleed. I mean, they didn't get to the point where we're just abusing. You got to go to the hospital or none of that. That's just the way we got disciplined back then. And that's how people did it. So you the first black person I'm hearing from this generation because saying you didn't get whoopings. That's what you said. I might have missed something.
No, it's a lot.
Let me tell you, that is false. I went to school. When I said I was at the lunch table,
sound like it's a lot of static.
It wasn't
like
just,
sound like it's a lot of static. But I'm saying we got whoopings and it wasn't abuse. Now these.
Ooh. I think she went out. Lady T, I wanted to say real quick because I'm working. Let me say this. Right. Number one, like you, I used to pretend like I got whoopings. When people used to talk about whoopings, I used to pretend like I got whoopings until my cousin outed me one time. On the bus. Said, ain't nobody whooping you, girl.
Oh my God, I never met somebody else.
Then the second thing
I'm back. Let me finish this before I go out again. I'm gonna put myself down because outside on the outside, when people on the outside kick me out, so I just go in the back and listen. So kids these days, there's talk. You can't get whoopings like that no more. It's abusing. They're jumping up on and call the police. I feel like when the butt whoopings started, that's when the kids started getting disrespectful. Besides just the crack generation, but it wasn't abuse back then. It was an ass whoopings that you needed. Now these days, kids don't get ass whoopings. And y'all see what's going on. Now we'll go to the back and listen to y'all again.
Well, the last thing I wanted to say was this concerning that scripture. I think that the scripture about sparing the rod is one of the most misquoted scriptures.
Yes.
And I used to quote it because a rod in the Bible, you know, they use a lot of references to sheep and shepherds. You will never see a person who owns sheep take that rod and heat none of them sheep. They take the rod and they guide the sheep out of harm's way. They don't hit them. They don't strike them. They take that rod and they move them from place to place to place to place. But they would never hit one of their. You would never see a shepherd hit one of their sheep. They just ain't going to do it. And so with that, and this discussion is good. This is the first time I've ever talked to On-Site April, and I almost said it was a blessing, but why am I ashamed to say it was a blessing? It was a blessing talking to you this morning.
It was a blessing because y'all see me as on site. Nobody don't really know me unless you on the phone with me and get to know me. So when I come on here, y'all just see on site. But
I'm gonna tell you where I love it. Was when I saw your sons on was that Thanksgiving or Christmas, and I said, "Look at her boys," and that's when I was like, "Hey, you know, she's pretty chill." But I think that the conversation between the three of us was good because you gave your perspective, and I couldn't do nothing but respect that.
Let me give you this statistic before you go. Let me give you this statistic before you go. One of my boys went to prison. 6 of my boys, I raised them to be better than me. I raised them to be better than my family. I raised them to have better relationships than me. I raised them to be better men than the men I've even acquired, even their father. You understand me? That was my main goal. And I have 6 graduates. Well, no, 7. The one that went to prison, he graduated. When he got out of my house, he got in trouble. When he got out of my house, he got in trouble. Not in my house. 7 graduated and 6 are in college. Bachelors, masters, associates. And you seen them on Thanksgiving. People would be like, them ain't her boys. And they would sit up there and be like, Mom. And I'd be like, child. Anyway, you know, to see my boys, you just, in Miss Cruiser, to let you go, I firmly we have different opinions, but I firmly respect this conversation and this topic we're having, Lady T and everything, Miss Auntie Blessed, because let me tell you something, my boys are wonderful and they're totally the opposite from their mom until they get mad. Until they get mad, then you see me. But other than that, when my children were not around me, when my children were not around me, that's when I heard the compliments. When my children were not around me. And my grandmother them always said, when your children are around you, depicts the type of parent you are. And baby, people used to come, girl, I seen your boys and they were so respectable and they still say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and open the doors and pull out the chairs. And I be sitting there and they be like, and they so helpful and they so down, really. Like, yeah. They treated you like.
And I mean, I don't know if part of it. I mean, my brother didn't live in the house with me and my siblings, so I don't know. You know, he didn't either. Not from my dad or whatever. So I can't say, but I can't say that much. You know what I mean? Like I would. My father's not here. I could talk to my brother. My father's not here for me to get his perspective on how things went with my brother. But as far as like my sisters and things go, we were respectable. Like ain't nobody going around cursing out first of all, like me and my sister, when we talk and we hear about like teenagers sneaking out and everything, me and my sisters have conversations like, what the freak? Like, how did they do that? Because I would never have even thought about doing it. And my mother would put her hands on me. My mother just give me this crazy vibe, like I don't know, like I just didn't fuck with the lady. Like I'm just being honest. Like a matter of fact,
that's the only reason why. That's the only reason why none of my boys never bowled up at me, because they thought I was mentally unstable. Like my mother, the thought crossed their mind. I looked and read in their face. The thought crossed their mind, but when they saw me standing there squaring off with them. Like, man, no, man, I ain't finna man look at. Okay, because I done see my mama fight grown men, and baby,
I'm not saying that
was
my
their
mom
thing.
Don't fight. My mom.
My boys told my husband. My boys told my husband, I done see my mama fight grown men, so I don't put my hands on women. That ain't my place. But statistically, I see kids like Miss Cruiser and you. Not a bad thing. Never been spanked. Now, Some of the kids are rich and, you know, well off, so they're spoiled, but they've never been spanked, and they turn out to be the worst kids. Then the kids that got spanked.
But really, if you want to see the actual statistics, there's a book called Beating Black Kids, okay? It's called Beating Black Kids or Beat Black Kids. It's either Beat Black Kids or Beating Black Kids. It's a yellow book. It's small. You can read it in like a few, maybe less than an hour or so, right? I think it's Beat Black Kids. I could go look on my shelf, but I don't feel like getting up. But well, I do have to get up anyway, but I can't be on here long. I gotta go meet my mom. But it's either Beat Black Kids or Beating Black Kids by Asada Kirkland. Okay? Read that book. She has the actual statistics, and you'd be surprised. The majority of them end up in jail. Her daughter, and now mind you, I taught her daughter. Her daughter didn't get spanked. I taught her daughter. Her daughter was one of my favorite students. I mean, the most disciplined, the most.
When was this book written?
Huh?
When was it written? When was it written?
This book was written. I want to say the early 2000s. Okay, if I just don't know the actual timestamp.
Baby, I know them statistics done changed tremendously because they also said that children being raised by single parents, that black men, black boys being raised by single mothers turned out to be felons and hoodlums and this one and that one. And baby, that's why I made it my mission to let them know. No, baby, you's a motherfucking lie. You's a lie. You's a lie.
But I think that
you could be the best parent to these kids, T. You could be the best parents to these kids, and they still turn out bad.
No,
you could be the best mom and dad.
That too. I have seen that too.
I'm not talking about the bad mamas and daddies. I'm not talking about the abusers. I'm not talking about them.
No,
I'm talking about the mother whose baby daddy left her, ended up being a whatever, but she got to go to work, and her work hours run from the middle of the day until like the evening time. So the kids got to come home. They got to have a key tucked in their shirt so nobody won't see, and they got to come home and get in their house and don't speak to nobody, and they got to do their homework and do their chores. That mother, when she come home, you know, and then the ones that don't listen to the mama because mama don't get home till a certain time, and she gonna go sneak out and lay up. You know, I'm talking about those parents. Those parents that's doing the best with what they have.
My father passed. I don't want to talk too long about that. Right. My father passed when I was a teenager. So there was a time period when I was that kid. And, you know, I really had the opportunity to go buck wild as a teenager. I had my little gay guy friend come over every day. My mom would come home, yell about the fact that I didn't take the chicken out fast enough, or, you know, didn't sweep the house. And oh, you here again or whatever, and then he would try to hurry up and go home. And that was my teenage life. Like, I really didn't mess with her too much because it was like I got so much.
Y'all, I'm gonna chime in here in a minute now, okay?
Yeah, come on, we can hear. Come on, Auntie, you sound good.
Wait a minute, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, you sound good. Come on.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna put you back there. I'm gonna put you back there for a minute. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, because I keep going out because I'm not compatible with somebody outside, but I'm gonna chime in with the whipping. Then I want to move on because I'm going in a different direction. I really want to get back to the opinion of what y'all feel about CEASAR before I get ready to get off of here. I'm gonna be off of here in about 7 more minutes. Basically, I want to know that, but I'm gonna speak on the whippings. My generation for sure, we got whippings, and back then it wasn't called abuse. And I want to answer, take it back. He said that kids are traumatized from whippings and don't know it. I don't think that's true, but maybe in the newer generations, I don't know. But I'm just saying, children wasn't messed up and they got grown for whippings. That was just a form of disciplining. But starting in the 80s, when people start getting crazy and beating the hell out of their kids and breaking their skin and hurting and breaking the bone, I get it. But people are still going to discipline their kids the way they discipline. And none of us turned out bad. Half of my siblings are pastors. You see what I'm saying? So it's a different sign of time. Let me put y'all back. And you stop coming on here, Tony. This man been popping on here for the last few days, and I won't let him up here, and I keep kicking him out, and he keep coming back. I accidentally put his face there. It looked like he black or light skin. I don't know, but you're not coming. And you got a mental issue. You need to go somewhere else. Okay, let me put you back. I need to get that out before I go back down.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to move away because it's going in the total direction different than what I was trying to do.
No problem.
Okay.
I just want to go and tell you about how I feel about Caesar, and then I got to jump off. When I say that, you know, people should be spanking their kids and everything, I just think that there's better ways to discipline your kids. I'm not saying that it's a horrible thing if you do, and I'm talking about spanking, not beat it. I don't think that he did all of that. I think she knows, you know, about social media. I think she played it up or whatever, but she knew that he would be embarrassed. I think he probably hit her, but I don't think it was like hands and feet. And I really don't feel like, my spirit say he didn't grab her out the shower while she was naked. I think she probably was in the bathroom getting ready to take a shower, trying to avoid the situation. He bust open the door, and brought her on out. I don't know if it was all of what, you know, they said. Like, you know, I think.
What about the stepmom, T? What about the step-parent?
Stepmom say? I missed something.
She asked the question. The stepmom said, "You don't want to wash the dishes, but you want $600 wigs." And Auntie Bless wanted to know. Auntie Bless wanted to know, how do you feel about a step-parent disciplining a child, either putting their hands on?
Yeah, I think the step, I don't think this is for the stepmom, and they're in a precarious situation because I'm like, you know, about men spanking their daughters. Like, I'm a little, especially at that age. But as far as her saying something, have you ever been a stepmom? I've been in a situation where I've dealt with guys with kids.
They keep kicking me out. I'm not compatible, you know, from the outside. They said the broadband. I don't know. I don't see nothing wrong with step parents if they got that child at an early enough age where they can make friends with that child. You still got to make friends with a 2, 3, 4, 5 years old and gain their trust. Eventually, they'll start respecting you as an authority figure. You can't come in a teenage life like that, 13, 14, 15, and think you're going to start chastising like that. They're just not going to like it. Like this Caesar's daughter evidently don't like this stepmother. Evidently, she's not even really trying to be a mother to her. And she see that, you know, and she see her getting in the way of her and her dad's relationship. I felt like when Caesar was talking, I don't think the stepmother, because she ain't really stepmother yet, they just living together, shouldn't have chimed in talking about she didn't want to wash dishes, she wants $600 wigs. I feel like, so that's her dad. If he want to buy her $600 wig, he can do that. It's not like she paying for it. So in that case, she wasn't around when the child was a little child for her to just jump in there like that. Okay? And that's what my opinion was about that. Go ahead.
Step parents, but again, you say it's the time. Step parents back then, like my dad, he didn't allow the step thing, but he spanked my brothers, but he loved my brothers. He raised my brothers. My brothers' fathers was on drugs.
But listen, outside of April, how old were they when this? Because we didn't say step. You either the parent or not, like you. I don't believe in that step. When you give us a person,
oh, my brothers were young.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. He got me young enough to
9 or 10.
Yeah, 10. Okay, that's still enough to make friends with that 10-year-old first. Eventually, you're gonna step into that parent role because he's gonna see you as a parent role when you start doing for him, showing that you love him the whole 9 yards. You can't just, even at 10, just jump in there and start beating him and thinking you're gonna start doing all that. It just ain't gonna work.
I'm telling whoever I'm living with, I don't care if you a child, an adult, a cousin, a friend, I'm telling you to wash the dishes. And if you got a reason not to wash the dishes, I'm attacking whatever you got going on. I told my cousin, you know, can you wash the dishes? He told me I don't do dishes. I said, oh, you don't do dishes, but when your bitch came, like I always had a comeback. Like I gotta come back. You know,
you can't discipline them at that old age is what I'm saying. So if you tell them and you know you're right, well, go ahead and wash the dishes. You're not to wash dishes, and that child don't want to do it and buck up at you and roll her eyes like she's gonna do it. Then you run in there and tell Caesar, let him discipline because she's not used to it. I think that's what they say. She don't love you like that. She don't know you like that. You can't do that.
Then
I would have went and told the father. I would have went if she would have got slick with me about doing chores and we just met. But see, I'm a different kind of stepmama. See, they cool with me. Everybody cool with Auntie April, with Mama April. I'm a different kind of stepmama. You know what I'm saying? But I would have groomed myself and groomed her to get to know me, to know that I'm not jealous of you. I'm not trying to take your father from you. Now, if you still got some children that just whatever. Okay, if I see that you that way, then I step completely back. I let your father deal with you. I step completely back and I let your father deal with you.
Right.
Now, if you Auntie April, if you Mama April, you cool with Mama April and Mama April loving on you, then I let you know, listen, now you get out of line, I'm gonna get you. And I let them know that. But I don't just come into no relationship like, oh, okay, chick, you ain't doing the dishes and all this here. No. Once I feel, I have to feel the child out and see if the child want, and once that child, let me know I ain't gonna listen to you. My mama told me blah blah blah, and I've had one like that too. I back completely off, and I don't disrespect them or nothing, and I be with the daddy. But then all of a sudden, daddy do something, and you need a woman to talk to, and I'm the only one now, and you come flying your behind and now, Mama April, oh, you want to talk to me? I get crazy with them. You don't like me because your mom.
Right. Uh-oh.
What happened? Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Look like we having technical difficulties. So I was listening to everything everybody was saying, and everybody is right about what they were saying. But the thing is, my daughter been in my wife's life ever since she was what, 1? My daughter was 1 year old,
If
and
y'all hear
she.
me or not, but I'm finna move on for this a little while. And that other one's come up now, and I'm tired of going in and out, really for real.
Why you keep leaving? Why you keep getting out?
April,
because of me.
Because of me. Outside. Let's keep kicking me out. So I'll be up down. So
so I'm gonna leave.
But it's just with me on my side. But I appreciate you coming up. Thank you, Lady
Bye,
T.
April.
Dropped off. I did drop off. And
That was funny.
I got a few more minutes. And I don't know if it sounds like I'm talking over y'all. I'm not. I don't know if y'all hearing me or whatever. It's me messing up on this outside because my thing is not compatible on outside. So that's why I be putting myself down. So I hope I'm not talking over y'all. I hope it didn't sound like that. I can't tell when it's like that. Okay. I really can't. So
no, you couldn't hear you at all.
See, that's what I'm saying. I thought y'all was hearing me. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, good morning. Thank you, ladies, for coming up on the thing. I'm gonna say this again. We got discipline different back then than these days. Some people still whip their kids, but some people, and I see in my chat, calling it abuse. But then that's a total different generation for me. Also,
abuse.
Yeah, black parent families always have disciplined their children different. It is what it is. We whoop our children. Then when they start saying you can't, the children act like they don't have to listen to you, jump on the phone and call the police. I would spank their butts anyway, sit them down, come on, we're gonna call the police together if that was me.
First of all,
that's what kids do these days, and they think they can just run over you.
In New Orleans, they tried that. And when the police get there, you sit the police down and you explain to the police why you whoop ass, and they're gonna understand.
And then
they go
leave,
back about their business. Yeah, then they leave.
Exactly.
Long as you're not starving them and beating them with big ass objects that our mama used to. Cause my grandma used to whoop us with some stencil cards, irons, iron boards. Grandma wasn't playing. Long as you don't hit those kids with that, you're fine. I don't mind my wife chastising my daughter because she's been in her life since she was 1 year old. So I mean,
well, see, but that's the difference. That's what I'm saying. She got it as a child. You can't get no kids already grown up and think you're gonna run over there and just start beating on them, tell them what to do. You got to first make friends with them. You got to let them see that you love them for real. You're gonna learn how to love them. They're gonna have to learn how to love you back. Then you're gonna ease, and before you know it, you're gonna ease into that parental role. You're gonna ease into that authority role. But just jumping in there and doing that's not gonna work. They're not used to taking orders from you. And that's just the way I see it. And then, like I say, as different generations, people chastise the kids different, but I can't see me saying, go to your corner, go to your room. You're not going to have dinner tonight. No, I'm not doing all that. Kids, look at your lap. Kiki, you dropped off. I'm going to drop the link again. No, that don't work for us. So we always have disciplined our kids different. That don't work for us. And they turn out all right. They get to the point they turn out all right. But, you know, like I say, the younger generation saying it's abuse. And then I know that one race, I think it's the not the Vietnamese, the low Asian. They don't believe in spanking their kids either. But you see what they get. They're going to link, Kiki, you fell off again. Violence is unacceptable. Obedience are lessons learned from slavery. I don't care how you put it, truth seeker, and we can't say that because everybody disciplined their kids different back then and still do to these days, to this day. So whatever way a person want to discipline their child is fine with me, long as you don't break a leg, break an arm, knock an eye socket out, none of that. Then I don't see where it's abuse. I don't understand that. But that's just the way it is. And Tony, stop coming back. Y'all, how can I get rid of this person? Okay, I see ban from the studio, but I got to wait and do it. To ban guests, you need to require all guests to authenticate with YouTube on Facebook. Existing guests won't need to authenticate unless, okay, I'm gonna have to do that. You can turn this off at any time in your settings. Okay, I see how to do that because I'm gonna end up having to ban him because he keeps jumping his butt back there. And I think he retarded or something. So anyway, see how much more time I got. Oh Lord, I went way over. I might as well wait to the top of the hour now, huh? Well, that's okay. So do anybody else want to chime in on CEASAR? Or, and I talked about the man going viral, the money man. And what else I talked about today? Matura's changing wigs. I tend to believe the first review that she gave. I didn't see the second Zoom meeting somebody was telling me about with old Trap Mouth them all over there. I'm just reiterating what I was talking about. You know, since I see newcomers coming in, I did say Tracy showed that whole first Zoom meeting. I don't know about the second one. I wanted some tea from that as well, but I got kind of stuck just then on them butt whoopings. Say potential in you. Okay, so now Laurie got a different conversation going on. Look at it that he say potential in you, that he didn't see you and siblings. Okay, that's fine. The link still dropped if you want to come back up. And like I say, I'm gonna say this again. I wasn't trying to talk over people. I don't know if y'all heard me or if I can hear y'all. I was having a few little technical difficulties here, y'all, for a minute. And so that's why I was keeping myself down so they can go ahead and talk, because I was hearing them on my gadget and y'all hear well on my side. Children now have too many distractions and out of home influences, iPhones. Exactly. And so these days they're disciplined. Well, I'm not gonna pay your bill or I'm gonna take your phone. No, that don't work either. Good morning, boo. Good morning. Can you hear me? All right.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
I got a different perspective on the discipline thing or whatever. When I grew up, I was the only girl, and I grew up in a 2-parent household, and we did get whoopings, which I figured out that we didn't really get whoopings. We got spankings or whatever. But
right.
Now when I raised my girls, I actually didn't spank them. And my dad never hit me. My dad never hit me because I was a girl. So my mom was always the one who had to do any type of discipline. And I do think that as a parent, you have to know your child, and each child can be raised differently. And the reason I say that is because in my household, when we were growing up, we only had one sibling who, seems like always had to turn around and get the fear of God put in him. But the rest of us, we didn't have to go through all of that. So I think it's kind of different depending on the child. And then, like I said, when I had my daughters, they weren't bad kids. So I just didn't have to do all of that or whatever. So I think each parent just needs to learn their child, and you have to, discipline them in the way that you think is right. I also don't think anything is wrong with spanking a child. Like you said, as long as you're not like breaking bones and stuff like that. But my go-to wasn't for, I don't want to go straight to just beating a kid, because sometimes you can just talk to them. Sometimes you can't, because, they get crazy. So it just depends on your child. And I think people need to kind of, it's not such a fine line. It's not necessarily black and white. It's sort of in between. But before you say something, what I do want to say is Lipstick Alley. I've been over there with y'all for years. I stay over there on the Keisha Kaylee area, whatever. One of y'all yesterday misquoted me. I never said that anybody was jealous of anybody. So I hope y'all retract y'all statement And the reason that irritated me is because I hate to hear people say, oh, she just jealous. They just jealous. I didn't think anybody was jealous of anyone. And I never said that obesity isn't an issue. I said that lady was big and fat as hell herself, so she can't start to pick at somebody else for being fat. So would y'all please go ahead and correct y'all wrong info on me? To the person over there who referred to me as Boo Boo the Fool, you need to learn to listen, because that's not what I said. But anyway, go ahead, Ms.
But they get a lot of stuff wrong over there. Wait a minute, 2 gadgets going to make sure I got mine down. Yeah, they get a lot of stuff wrong over there because there was something I was going to address the other day, and I really forgot what it was, but it was something that I clearly didn't say. And while I'm talking to you, I'm going to be looking for it. But far as whooping children, my middle child was the type of child I just gave him a certain look and he knew to straighten up. You know, I had this look, disapproval that he knew I'd do it to him and he knew it to straighten up. Now the older one had the discipline like that, and then the younger one. But the middle one, and then even with some of my nieces and nephews that I had that look, I just give them that certain look and they know, okay, don't I'm not gonna play with y'all. So saying that each child is different too. Some you didn't have to discipline like that.
It really is, because I'm telling you, like, my youngest brother, he was just, I don't know, like the rest of us, you know, none of the rest of us ever even went to jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about prison. We forget a prison. We never saw a jail cell. Okay. We all went to college. It was just, my mom said, though, you always get one, but I didn't get one who was crazy. But I just think that each one needed to be raised based on how they were, because I don't know what you would have thought he was raised differently than the rest of us, how he, you know, conducted himself, but he wasn't. So I just think when it comes to parenting, you got to know your child and you have to do what you think is best, but you need to also make sure that you listen to your child. Because I saw somebody saying, oh, Black children got whooped for asking why. No, I actually didn't. You know, we were able to ask questions. So, yeah. But
I've always said on here, listen to your children. You have to, like I told the story, I don't know, been a month ago now, how my niece had to listen to her son saying something about how he was touched. She listened to him. But some people won't listen. Now, I do listen. I've always listened to them. And I've always told them if I'm busy, like right now, if they were still a kid want to talk to me, if it ain't an emergency, they ain't going to come to me. So I know if one would have come to me while I'm doing something, evidently something I need to hear right away. You know what I'm saying? So, and I can tell the difference too. Then they can butt in when adults talking. They knew not to talk when adults talking. None of this, it was something needing my attention right away.
Right.
And I pay attention. You have to pay attention. Good morning, Miss Theo. So that's another thing. But yeah, my middle son, I just give him that look. So every child is different. Every child is different. Just give them that look and they knew.
My youngest brother, he didn't care about no whooping. I'm like, boy, how you take these beatings like that? I couldn't do it. I don't understand. I'm like, that wasn't my, I couldn't do it. But him, he just stayed in trouble and doing different things. And even now today that, you know, we're older, you know, he just said, I was like, well, what was up with that? He just said, I was just bad as hell. You know, he said he was spoiled. He said he was bad as hell and did what he wanted to do. So each child is different, but people are different. We were on stereo one day, Lady Tia and I, and we were talking about the different churches and things that we experienced. And she was saying that when she was younger at that church, which of course was a Black church, they weren't allowed to ask questions and things like that. And I was like, well, at our church, when we did Bible study, we were encouraged to read the Bible and come in and ask questions. So
right.
Everybody is different. And I think you got to kind of keep that in mind. Everybody has different experiences and stuff. It's not one umbrella that all of us Black people are fitting up under. But like I said, I don't want anybody, just because I didn't beat my child or whoop my child or really spank them like people are talking about, to say that I'm saying spanking is wrong. I'm just saying each child is different, and you may not even need to put your hands on your kids. I didn't.
That's what I meant by each child is different. So, and everybody disciplined. But do you agree when I say the different generations, how we got chastised? And nowadays people are scared to chastise their kid because they think they're going to call the police. So, which in turn let a child do something. I'm going to call the police and you hit me. See, I'm the type to say, I'm going to whip you anyway, call them.
My cousin, her daughter actually pulled that, okay? Her daughter pulled some stuff like that. My cousin beat her daughter. because she had snuck some boys in the house and stuff like that. And then yes, that little heifer called the police. And you know what the police told her when they got there? They told her, your mother, can't be going to jail. She didn't leave any marks on you. She didn't do anything wrong. You're allowed to discipline your child. And the officers was upset with my cousin's daughter and was like, you need your butt beat. You need to go sit down before you ruin your life and stuff like that. So I do think that some of these kids do think that, but you can discipline your child. It's not illegal to discipline your child. It's illegal to actually leave marks on them or to abuse them, but it's not illegal to discipline your kid.
Exactly. As long as you ain't knocking the eye socket out or breaking nothing, big bruises across their face and arm like that. No. And then the policemen are normal people with normal families just like us. A lot of them don't like the fact that children jump on that phone, mom, whoop me, come here, because they know what they be trying to do. They be trying to have their way. So they know that. So a lot of them, when the kids call, they will side with you. And explain to you, well, evidently you done something. Oh, why did she discipline you and all this? You know what I'm saying? So it don't work. And you're right. A lot of them don't like when kids waste their time, call them because they got a whooping. I'm quite sure they beat their kids' butt too.
But it is a different generation because when I was growing up, they actually had the little child abuse hotline. And I never would have thought about calling no doggone child abuse on my mama for nothing. I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. These people are different anyway. I never would have thought of putting my hands on my mother or calling my mother out of her name or disrespecting my daddy or whatever, Now, my brother, he was bad, but he never did no stupid stuff like that. But I do see that now kids, they do disrespect their parents a lot more than before. So I don't know what's with that.
And so, Laura, you said it right. I'm saying whoopings. She said whoopings. Now, we call them whoopings. So we didn't get beat. Like I say, nothing to get broke. You know what I'm saying? And go out there and get that switch. You go get that switch. But like the third, I just told not too long ago how my friend had to wait till her daughter, who was calling her at this point, went in there, got in the tub. She went in there weighing on her. She waited. And she had to keep that fear because these kids will try you. They see one little drop of fear, especially the boys that try to run over you. But you got to keep that fear up. You let them know I ain't scared of you because you taller than me, and you will get something go inside his head though. But like I say, my husband just playing my son. He didn't want to mow the grass. You know what I'm saying? Because these kids will do that. They will try you.
And see, it could be a different thing. It could be gender because, like I said, I have brothers, but I didn't have any sons, so I don't know what it is to raise a boy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how.
Right. Girl. When the boys' hormones get to flying, you can see that they're flying. They'll raise up at you the whole 9 years and give you that look like they are going to try something. Like that. And then I kept my stance up too. What you gonna do? How you looking at me? That look changed. But we felt like my mama must be crazy because she raising back up at me. Then they gonna calm down. You know what I'm saying? And I would have been crazy. Daddy touch you, but my kids ain't never tried to touch you. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying one of them gave me that look as if I said, I wish you would. You know what I'm saying? They had to bring you that look on down. I wish you would. I'd be like Marvin Gaye did to him. Believe that. And one of my child ever tried to touch me.
That's crazy with Miss Black because like my brothers, they crazy about my mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, maybe they mama boys or something, but
mine crazy about me too. But I'm just saying that boy or girl, they gonna try you no matter what. When they want that way.
We used to do that because we felt like y'all was hating at that time because when it was time for us to finally get some, and that girl really, and the girl really willing to give it to us, and then here come mama with that bull stuff.
She cock blocking.
Yeah, she cock blocking. Talking about you gotta don't leave out this house and you better come home at the.
So you understood what I said when them little boys' hormones get to floating. You can just see it. Look like they just get you sweating and just looking crazy. Want to look at you crazy. What y'all was ready to run out and go get some, so to speak.
Yeah, that means we was ready to go get it, but then y'all stopped us, and we ain't no man about to hit their woman, their mom, especially no black man. But we gonna give you that look like, mama, I do want to beat your ass, but I know you gonna whoop the shit out of me.
Oh yeah,
that's just how it was back then. That's how I used to look at my mom. Like, I do want to slap you, but I know you're gonna beat the shit out of me. So I'm gonna just give you that look.
And you can tell when the hormones got the well, I can tell to me when I say hormones, I say this boy, I'm thinking my hormones must be raging or something. Way he looking at me, I'm thinking all this in my mind and look at him at the same time and say, "I dare you." And which I know he wasn't going to hit me, but you can just see that them hormones was raging, you know. And he backed down when
It's
he
a
seen no
standoff.
mama the fear there. That's right.
Now, when it comes to the thing with Caesar, though, his daughter, she's a child, and she was wrong in the situation. But with him being a man, I do think that if her mother, were available, if he could contact her, I think it would have been better. I truly don't agree with a man putting his hands on his daughter or whatever. I know that's his daughter. I know he loves her, but like I said, I came from a family where my daddy never put a hand on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, now don't get me wrong, I wasn't gonna try my daddy either. But I can't imagine my daddy like just I can't. That I don't even understand how you would do that. And especially coming in the shower. And I'm not saying there was anything like that going on. I'm just saying, period. That's not something that, and I know households are different, but that's not something that I'm accustomed to. My daddy would have never came and snatched me out of the shower. Now, he would have sent my mama in there or whatever, but I just think it's a little bit different when you're a girl and you're of a particular age and your daddy handles discipline. Like, it's a dynamic there that you really have to be sort of careful with. And I just think that he wasn't thinking properly at the time.
But you're right about that too. Ain't no man
I'm
had
not
no
going in
business
the
grabbing
shower.
his daughter out the shower at 16 years old. At that point,
That's
the
weird.
father's supposed to take over. I nurtured them till they toward 10. But then when it start coming to manhood and them things get to rage, they need to start talking to them boys. Because I remember when my son hormone was raging by 14, he gonna give me a look and I said, I dare you. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I was thinking that, right? Which I know he wasn't gonna really touch me. But I'm just saying they get the raging. As April said, they be smelling themselves, and they really do. Now, the daughter, I would have went in there, but at this point, it was the lady that she didn't really have respect for, so she couldn't go in there and do nothing. But I don't know if he went in there and grabbed out the shower butt naked. I think she kind of exaggerated naked. I don't think he kicked her and stomped her. Whole man, she'd been in the hospital. She'd been hurt.
Yeah, I don't believe all of that, but I'm just saying that I just think it would have been better, like when she starts feeling herself or whatever, and get to that certain age, let her mama handle some things. She should have been doing it or whatever, or talking back. Girlfriend needs to fall back, because I think sometimes people don't realize that whether you're a girlfriend or a stepmother, you have to sometimes remember what a child is going through. You're going through hormones raging. Your parents aren't together. We're in a freaking pandemic. They're stressed like we are. You got acne busting out on your face. You got boys.
I got to object to that because my
I,
daughter is 10
mhm.
and she go, to two different houses. Me and her mom are not together. I'm married to another woman, and she do be bumping heads with my wife. She do that, but I can't call my daughter's mother to talk to her because she's gonna make the situation even worse.
Uh,
Because me and her, that's how any woman is. If you're not with the dad, they're gonna make that situation worse. It don't, especially if your daughter calling another woman mother or mom or something like that. No, they're not gonna sit down and tell
well, my
the little
child
girl,
ain't
oh well,
calling
you have to
nobody else
respect her.
mama or mom, and
See
that's
that?
one
See,
thing.
that's what it.
I'm not no, and I'm not gonna have my child call
See,
another man daddy either.
Well,
I
and
mean, it's not.
then it all depends on how close the family is. That's two families kicking with you. You and your wife, and then it's your ex and her spouse or whoever. But
I'm
y'all got to
strong,
respect
dude. I'm
both
strong
homes. She might even get to the point where she love your wife right now that you have, and look at her as a stepmother and call her mom when she know who her real mother is.
I'm not
You,
calling another woman or another man myself mama or daddy, etc. And I mean, I don't know, because it's probably something personal with me. When I was a little girl, my mom got really sick, and my mom had cancer. And but it's a long story, whatever. But I never will see myself calling another person mama or daddy if my parents are here and they are alive or whatever. And it's no disrespect to a person who is a step parent. I'm just not with it, and I just, to me, I just don't feel it. Like, if my parents are alive walking this earth and they took care of me, I'm not doing it. And I could still love the stepmother or whatever, because I would want to love a stepmother if they're going to be around my kids. It's just for me personally, nah, it ain't going to happen.
Well, I see people with two families and they love their real mother, of course, and then their stepmother, they will say ma. They know who their real mother is. It just depends on relationship that they have with their stepmother. I see, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this is what I want to ask you, Kiki. Now, your ex, she's not the type that's putting stuff in your little girl hair because she's too young, but some people do that for her to come back when she come from visiting to be like that towards your now wife. You get what I'm saying?
She
It's not
do.
a situation like that, is it? Because it is. That's messed up.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. See, the thing
Because
is,
she got to see that your now wife probably grew to love her for real as her own. And it's messed up.
yes.
And when a real mother should be saying you got to respect her over there too. Now you can call her Miss, whatever name is, but you're too young to straight up be calling her by her name. So you got to say, if you don't want to say mom, you can say Miss or have your own term of demerit name that you would
But
endearment
this the
that you
thing.
would have for her. But if she want to say
She
mom,
did that.
what I'm trying to tell you, boo, is I see families like that. They call both of them their mom. They'll say, oh, that's my mom over there too with my dad. And then they say, well, really, it's my stepmother. And which we know that, but they love them like that and they develop a relationship at an early age.
That's what she do. That's what she do. Because she been knowing her since she was 1 year old. She
See?
started calling her mom herself. We never made her do it. We never told her to do it. We never talked about it. She just started doing it herself because she seen that she really loved her. She really loved her now
Right.
as her own. Like she get her whatever she want. She bring her wherever she want to go. She act like her real mama.
And see, and
That's
that's what I'm saying. She did that on her own, but in her mind, she knows who her real birth mother is.
she
You know
know
what I'm saying?
that.
Oh,
She
they
know who
know
that
that,
is.
but there's nothing wrong with her saying mom because in reality it is. It's a step, but it is. So I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Let,
She
let,
know who her real mother is.
let me tell
It's
you
just
how
respect.
smart my daughter is. This how smart my daughter, and I'm glad you said that. That's she said that. I said, why you calling her mom and you know who your real mom is? She said no. She said this at 8 years old. She said it's out of respect to her and you because she do a lot for me. And this day and age, these children is smarter than a grown up. She said that
Exactly.
out of her own mouth.
Well, y'all,
And
I
when
ain't gonna
she
agree
told
on.
me that, I ain't say nothing else.
I ain't gonna agree on this part, so I don't want to keep beating the dead horse on this.
Because you got a different experience, you said, so I get it.
Yeah, like for me, like I said, that's what I went
But
through.
back in our day, we didn't do that. We didn't call other people mama or daddy. You know what I'm saying? I understand what you saying, boo.
Yeah, I'm
I
just
never
saying,
did that myself.
ain't nobody
I
like
still
my
ain't gonna do it.
mama, so
Yeah,
that's like.
but
Well. Before
I
I met my husband, he got a daughter. Before I met my husband, he has a daughter. She would say "ma" to me when she come over, but she know I'm not her mother. And
it's
still do it
respect.
right now to this day. Because I treat her as a daughter that I birthed, but she know, of course, she know who her real mother was even back then. You know.
Yeah, it's out of respect. It's a respect thing. But
But Ken,
back
that's
in the
messed
day,
up that you said y'all can't call the mother if there was something going on. So how do you
No,
parent?
you can. You can. If something, you can still
No,
call. She can still come.
said he can't. So I'm like, if something goes on, then how can you parent effectively like that if you and the other parent, if y'all can't even have a simple conversation about,
I call her grandma.
oh, that's still crazy. That's sad.
I call her grandma.
But then and if the mother don't accept Kiki's wife calling her mother, I don't think she should be talking, even talking against him to this little child, putting stuff in their head, because the child will get old enough to understand what her mom was doing too.
No, Miss
So
Bless.
that's not cool, huh?
No, Miss Bless. What he was saying was that if the daughter was over there cutting up, I was saying, well, just tell her mama and let her mama get her straight because she's a girl, a female. And he was saying, no, I can't even call her mama because she gonna make the situation way worse than what it was. So my thing is,
Yes.
like when bad things happen or kids cut up, if the two parents can't even talk, how can y'all effectively like raise y'all child? That's crazy to me. Like,
But that
Kiki, you
never
ain't got
happened to
no
us
business.
though.
Wait a minute, Kiki, you ain't got no business calling her mother. You should know how to chastise your daughter when she at home in your house. Period.
Yeah.
And
We
both of you
do
and your
that,
wife.
but
Don't need to call up something to chastise her if she done something wrong at home. You got to handle that in your own household. Call her for what? Because then it's gonna seem like you can't even take care of your child. You can't be a disciplinary. You got to call her when something go wrong. No, she's at home. You got to discipline her. Who are you and your wife? She still respect his mama.
She never did that over here. She never gave us, real problems for us to
call her for
do
what?
that. But
you ain't
I
got
still
to
can't call her and still, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, we
No,
good
but
how it
I
is now.
disagree. Like when kids are going through stuff and they're cutting up and things like that, both parents do need to sit down and talk, because a lot of times when kids are cutting up and they start acting out like Caesar's daughter, it's usually something else going on. It's usually something deeper than just I ain't gonna wash a dish. And if the two parents aren't even able to communicate,
that's if you got a parent like the way he explained his ex is, it ain't gonna work. So he should know how to discipline and handle that himself at home. He can't jump on the phone calling her when something go wrong on his home. If plus that the little girl live with him anyway, call her for what? If he can't handle it, if she got hurt or something, got to go to the hospital or something, then you got to call and get with her. But if it's just a thing of disciplining her because she done something wrong, how come him and his wife can't handle it?
Kiki, may I encourage you that I know this is going to be a hard thing, and I don't know the lady, the child's mama that you're dealing with, but sometimes it comes to a point where you have to say, you know what, that's the mother, and I picked the child, didn't pick her, I picked her. Even though we ain't good now, but I picked her, and you have to sometimes have to find a way, even if it's unfair to you in some ways, to get along with her, because we as adults, everybody involved with the child, have to do what's best for the child. And I know that's easier said than done, but it have to find a way. My sister raised a stepchild that wasn't hers. She was actually given that child by a judge because she was moving from Germany, and her husband was breaking up, and he was getting ready to be stationed somewhere else where he couldn't take the child. And the mother, the actual biological mother, had moved somewhere, and at the time she wasn't fit. So my sister got custody of her stepchild. Well, as years went by, the biological mother, realized that she loved her child more than she loved the whole drama between the new wife, now also the ex-wife, that has my child. And now the child, my niece is 33 years old, 32, 33 years old, and she calls my sister Ma. She called her mother, her biological mother, Mom. And my sister and her biological mother are best friends. They have been best friends for about 15, 16 years now, because they realized that this child was more important to them than whatever craziness that they had going on behind the scenes. And so now they're good friends. And my sister, we're in North Carolina. They're in Sacramento, California, but my niece back and forth between North Carolina and California. She always have been. But my point is this, that there is a way that you can work through those things, and we have to find ways to work through. You can give me every excuse in the world why you can't, and I can give you one good. How old is your baby? About 7 years old. One good 7-year-old excuse is why you can and should. And I know
that's what he's saying, and that's what we both were just saying. It's the ex that don't want to act right and be an adult in the situation. So eventually they probably will grow to that point, like you explaining. But he's tried. So then I'm saying to him, some discipline has to happen in the house. You can't call it because you got to discipline a little child in the house. You got to handle that. But if she get hurt and something drastic would happen, then y'all got to come together. But right now at this point, she don't want to do that with him. But eventually he probably will get to what you're saying. Right now, don't sound like the ex is mature enough to even get on that level right now at this point. And then you tell them both mother. That's what I was trying to explain to Boo. There's nothing wrong with that, because she know who her biological mother is right now at this point. She definitely know as she get older, and like you say, your niece is 33. Maybe one day they will get to that point of what you're explaining. That's exactly what we were saying.
But they got to that point when she was much younger.
Yeah, but
she was still a child.
But I'm trying to tell you that that's what we're saying. I'm trying to explain he's going to get to that point. Your sister already at that point. It's been years. And I'm trying to tell Kiki right now, the girl live with you because she doing something wrong in school and stuff. What you going to do? Round the call the biological mom all the time? She already don't want to give you. She got
to I think that calling her is the road to mending that. Sometimes you have to give up. Sometimes you have to give up of yourself, meaning that at some point the mama may not get to maturity level unless he kind of helps her there along the way of
That's what
saying,
he
you know
said he
what,
did.
you
That's
know,
what he
you're her
said.
mama, and I know this is insignificant, but I just wanted you to know.
And we
You
were
know.
talking about
But
him.
that's what he's saying, Miss Cruiser, that he tried. Now, if she don't want to
Okay.
work with him like that, there's nothing else that he can do but keep raising his kid. Eventually, maybe she'll get there. Eventually, ain't that what you? What Kiki go? I'm looking at the thing. Kiki
Yeah,
gone. Let me drop this link again. So that's what he basically was saying. But I was telling Boo when she said whenever the discipline happened in the house, call her.
No. I don't
Call
mean
her
all, I didn't mean in all cases, Miss Bless. I'm talking about in the case of CEASAR with the child being 16 and then pulling her out of the shower. I said that once the girl gets a certain age, I didn't think that men should be beating on their daughters. And Kim was saying, well, dang, you know, my baby mama I can't even feel comfortable enough if I did have a problem to call her. That's all we were saying.
Well, no, I agree with you on that one right there. The girl is too old. I agree with you on that right there.
Why is she with
They
the
need
dad
to be
rather than the
together
mom?
on a grown child like that. You might as well say grown, 16 years old.
Yeah.
But it sounds like to me, because I was going to mention this also, it sounds like to me that the mother, the biological mother, is a problem too, because she's on there talking about she believe all that happened, the kick, the punch, the stomp, and all this. So it let me know they don't have a good relationship. And this woman is now 16. This woman's in her late 30s or something now. That don't look like she gonna have to grow. But she's on social media, believing her child, thinking that it happened like that. So maybe both of them don't like his wife, his girlfriend, whatever she is. Don't sound like, you know, I don't know. He can't come together with her, according to what I'm reading.
Yeah, I wonder why. I believe, and I could be wrong. I don't know everything, of course, obviously. Yeah. But why is the 16-year-old with the father rather than with the mother in the first place?
They visited then. She don't live there with him. She was visiting. She visits herself to stay with her sometime.
See that? Yeah, that makes it even more complicated because
and so
trying
she
to handle
already likes her father's new girlfriend.
He's trying to handle something temporary yet while the child. Because I'm gonna tell you, when me and my husband split, my son was 17. I left him right on over there with his dad. Well, my daddy had to convince me to do it. I'm trying to act like I was so tough to do it. I had a fit about it, but I did end up leaving him with his daddy because he was at that age where there were some things that he was growing into manhood, and I'm not a man. And both of my daughters came with me because they were going into teenage years and about to deal with some stuff that, you know, that as a woman I could probably help them through a little bit more better than their dad. And whenever he had certain problems with them, you know, we co-parent. We didn't go through all that. You need child support. We didn't judge income. We decided to co-parent. When we finished throwing bricks at each other's house and got over ourselves, then we decided to raise our kids together. Right. And anytime when they were at his house, if he had certain problems with them, he would call me and he'll tell him, I'm about to send him. We literally lived up the street from his other. He said, I'm about to send him up the street.
When they're old like that, let me read the chocolate girl said. It sounds like he and his baby mother are not on good terms. So since he is married, well, that's his girlfriend, but they buying a house together. He's trying to have. No, I don't think he was trying to get the teenager. She's a teenager to call her mom. I doubt that. But with that said, y'all, I'm gonna start playing my music. I'm on my way out of here. Y'all, I just looked at the time. But Boo,
well, this was a good discussion. Thank you for letting me be involved.
He was telling me what he was saying about that, but I guess he had to go. I didn't see him when he left. But so we can't really base our own scenarios on what's going on with CEASAR and his thing. You know what I'm saying? And then with Kiki, he's trying. So maybe one day the girl will mature enough to talk to him. But the child lives with Kiki. He's raising the child. The child and the mother and his wife love each other. That's cool. So she's going to have that kind of respect and call her mom too, knowing who her biological mother is. She visits her biological mother in the whole 9 yards.
But yeah, this was a good discussion. And
I wanted him to come up here and finish, but I think he had to get a call or something. And you're right down the Duncan, but the little girl, from what I understand, especially Kiki child, is doing that on her own. And a lot of children do that because my niece, little boy, called his stepmother, his dad's wife, mom also. Now, he's going on 6. He knows who his mother is. You know, some children do that, but they be knowing. But if they wasn't treated right, kids are smart. I don't think that they would call their stepmother if they wasn't being treated right in the first place. I really don't see that. But some kids just start doing it on their own.
For me, it's not about whether you was treated right or not. You know, like I said, I'm sorry. Like for me, it's totally different. Like
maybe one day you would tell me what the situation was.
As far as I'm concerned, my mother is a saint, and nobody else can ever compare. And so I would never call another mother that. So it's just
I'm with you, boo. I'm with you, boo. Nobody else could call mom, but my mama.
No, I don't think it got nothing to do with the way you just said. You know, and we know our mothers, and your mother is mother. You know, that's your queen. That's your
I call another woman mama.
No, baby, I'm getting it.
Because like I said, I almost lost my mother, and I just don't see myself doing it. You know, and I know some people don't have an issue with it. It's a personal thing. Like if some people are okay with their kids calling people mama, that's on them. But I do know, like if my kids were going around calling some other lady mama, yeah, I would have an issue with that. But then again, I was a damn good mother. I raised all my kids. You know what I'm saying? And well, I didn't even have to worry about it, so it wasn't even an issue. But you know,
but that's what I'm saying. You had a different experience, and I'm respecting that is what I'm saying. So I get what you're saying. You had a total different experience. I get it. I really do. But with that said, y'all, I'm finna get ready to play this music. Boo! Don't hang up when I go off. I want you standing back for a minute. I got some action, okay?
Okay.
Stay on the link. Now I'm finna get the music on. Thank you, Miss Cruiser, for coming back, baby girl. I always enjoy your opinion.
You're welcome. Y'all have a good day.
Get out of here because I didn't plan on staying on here this long, girl. I've been on here 2 hours and 10 minutes. I'm just now looking at the time. I got to get out of here by 10:30. It's 9:46. That's why I didn't realize on here this long. So I'm going to go. I got some different music going. With that said, y'all drop the diamonds as I go out. I enjoy y'all. Thanks for spending y'all time with me this morning. Thank you for having coffee with me as usual. Drop the diamonds. Thank you for the likes. However, I forgot to even ask what it was. Thank you, Onside April, Lady T, Kiki. I know you're busy. Thank you. I'll holler at you later. And with that said, y'all, I'm rushing now. I'm finna say toodaloo and toodaloo. Don't hang up, boo.